Concordia University is pleased to have Ms. Elizabeth Kautz as its 2017 commencement speaker. The Honorable Elizabeth Kautz is currently serving her 22nd year as the mayor of Burnsville. Mayor Kautz has displayed a servant leadership approach throughout her years of public service and views her work as mayor as, quote, her ministry, unquote. She has helped Burnsville, one of the Twin Cities' more established outer ring suburbs, continue to grow and reinvent itself and integrate thousands of first-generation Americans into the community. As a resident of Burnsville for nearly 2 decades, I myself have had the opportunity to vote for Mayor Kautz quite a few times, something I don't normally disclose in public. But I'm proud to say that I've voted for Elizabeth, and I'm happy that she's here to speak to you, the 2017 graduating class. Let's welcome Mayor Elizabeth Kautz.
So good to be with all of you this morning. Reverend Dr. President Tom Reese, trustees, faculty, parents, grandparents, guests, and graduates, congratulations. Thank you for the invitation to share this significant rite of passage experience with you. This is an exciting day, filled with wonder and anticipation as you stand in this doorway to the next phase of your life's journey, engaging your heart and move from that place of great inner strength. It has been talked about by your colleague at the beginning, but you are filled with great inner strength to love, to care, and to be compassionate, the original and authentic way that requires courage, inner strength, and determination. You see, as a child growing up, I wanted to serve God within the context of the church. But I am Roman Catholic, my chosen religious faith community, one that did not and does not recognize women's role within the community of the Catholic faithful, a paradox and a challenge for a Catholic woman. In the 70s, after the Second Vatican Council and a graduate of St. Catherine's University with a theology degree, my focus was to get a job within the context of the church and to glorify God in service to people. I approached my pastor at St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Savage and offered a proposal to serve in a pastoral ministry capacity, an area that needed help. My proposal to Father Genicus was to serve as a pastoral minister for 3 months without pay. And if he thought that I was adding value and making a difference, we can talk about how to move forward as a permanent employee, or he can tell me that it wasn't working and I would move on. After a month, Father Genicus came into the area that was my working office and said, I think we should make this position permanent, but we have to figure a way to fund it. I thanked him for his confidence. We put forth a statement of what the ministry would be like and what outcomes it would deliver. Father Genicus presented the proposal to the Board of Trustees and then to the parishioners. We received funding to support my position and the new ministry. To deliver the outcomes, I needed to build a volunteer force and program. I received sponsorship funding to subscribe to the Stephen Ministry program and was certified. The program was launched, and in our first recruitment for volunteers, we far exceeded our goals for volunteers for our first class. In the first year of our program, we met all of our goals and objectives. We celebrated all of the successes. There was so much excitement, we put in place a vision and a 5-year strategic plan for the ministry. Our people were so engaged, and they felt that they were valued, and their contributions to our faith community was purposeful. They were the best ambassadors for the ministry, and their work in service to our faith community was appreciated. This is leading from the heart. Serving our faith community or any organization, engaging, equipping, and empowering people to be of service, to do their very, very best. You see, all of us want to make a difference. We all want to give back. The most excellent way is the way of love, care, and compassion, the way of the heart. Including people and valuing their talents, assets, intelligence, knowledge, and experience to achieve what we all hold in common, our desire to make a difference. As a leader, and as you walk out into that world, and you are certainly leaders, our role is to ensure that the people are equipped with training, resources, and support. What I experienced as a leader is that when you are clear with your directions, you equip and provide people with resources, and you trust them, they will do their very best. People feel when they are valued and they are doing something meaningful and purposeful. They feel good. Leading from the heart is to be inclusive. And what you will experience is that people will always do their very best. My time in ministry to my faith community was one of my most proud professional experiences. It was also where I realized that we can balance the paradoxes of values. As a woman, I was able to serve God in the context of the Catholic faith community, even when women were not acknowledged. After I left ministry, my service in the church, I got involved in public office because I love my community of Burnsville, and I saw that areas of our city was aging, tired, depressed, and some areas would be called blighted. Graffiti and crime was moving in. And I didn't want to see that. And so, after my service to my faith community, I started a business. In the late 80s and early 90s, I was on the board of directors of the Chamber of Commerce. And each month when I showed up at a board meeting, I would ask if anyone was doing anything about reimagining or creating a new vision for our city. 2 of my fellow board members were tired of hearing me and said, "Elizabeth, if you don't like what you see, do something about it." They were right. And I did do something about it. I got into the city council in 1992, and in 1994, I ran for mayor. I realized that this is a call for me to continue my ministry in a broader context. When I got into office, we started the process of engaging our citizens through a convening effort, reimagining, and to create a new vision for our city. It was an exciting process because over 2,000 people took part in this very comprehensive process. One of the most visible results was the redevelopment of a 54-acre site that was tired and depressed, that is now known as the heart of the city. It is a pedestrian-friendly, mixed-use development, urban setting in a suburban environment. This was a 2-year process, and people young and old stayed engaged and attended the meetings. One of our great outcomes are our initiatives to ensure that people know we are a caring, loving, compassionate, and welcoming community. We designed the heart of the city with two very significant elements: a central park called Nicollet Commons and a performing arts center, the Ames Center. We are an international community with many cultures and traditions. We wanted our people to come together and grow and get to know one another. 10 years ago, we launched I Love Burnsville Week, a time for our community to raise the awareness of love by doing good deeds and talking to others and meeting people that they don't know. There are events throughout the week for every age group, from kicking off our children's programs, summer programs, to senior activities, from health to bird watching, and so much more. There are gatherings at Nicollet Commons Park, and we start the summer with Flicks on the Bricks, where we have movies twice a month on Friday nights. We are celebrating the 10th anniversary this year. It is always lots of fun. I Love Burnsville Week is the first week in June, so I hope you will also join us and enjoy what it means to be in a welcoming and inclusive community. Also, 10 years ago, we gave birth to our International Festival, a celebration to acknowledge our many cultures. We are a beautiful community mosaic. We celebrate with food from different countries, music, dance, arts, crafts, and creating new friendships. We are getting to know each other. These two events is the outward expression of our care, compassion, and love for one another. It is our continuous effort to raise the awareness of what Paul writes in his first letter to the church in Corinth, chapter 12, verse 31. Set your hearts on the greater gifts, a more excellent way, the gift of love. Paul continues to teach us in chapter 13 about the more excellent way of love, where he defines love for us, and we heard it with the choral offering. This more excellent way is not easy. It really isn't. It is hard, and often it is perceived as weak. But I am here to tell you that it is not weak. It is not a weak way. It takes courage, and it takes conviction, determination, and great inner strength to live this more excellent way. Live this more excellent way with intention. As you continue on your life's journey, ask yourself, do I know my personal brand? And do I know my purpose? Our brand and purpose is how others know us. It is made up of what we learn from our families of origin and our insight into our self-awareness. And it defines how we live our lives and relate to others. But as we travel through life, some of us somehow lose that sense of our original self, our brand, and sense of purpose. We are influenced and seduced by others and the world around us. As you evaluate this more excellent way, understand that there are many values, and the challenge is understanding the paradox of the values. Others will try to tell you that we need to pick one over the other. They will try to influence and seduce your decision-making process. I'm sure you already have encountered that. But Webster defines paradoxes as something that is made up of two opposite things that seem impossible, but is actually true or possible. We live in a world filled with paradoxes. And our job is to understand and hold the balance of these paradoxes. Example, a more excellent way. Matthew, Mark, and Luke all write about the two greatest commandments: love God and love your neighbor as yourself. Just as Paul writes to the church in Corinth, this more excellent way is filled with competing values in our world. How do I love my neighbor that I am afraid of because they are not like me? How do I sit and break bread with someone who does not share my political or religious values? Here is where we hold the balance of these competing values, with living and practicing Paul's call to the more excellent way. In closing, from pastoral minister to mayor, the journey has been one of balancing competing values. But the core value of love has been the guiding principle for me. To lead from the heart, to be grounded in the heart, it is where I am grounded and where I operate from. Loving God and our neighbor is our journey to becoming one with God again. The theologian Matthew Fox identifies for us in the book of Genesis that our original blessing is that we are created in the image of God. We are created in the image of God. The more excellent way is the path to fulfilling the original blessing and embracing love. As we embrace love, we embrace God because God is love. I implore you, graduates, that when you go forth and walk the more excellent way, the way of love, you will build your brand as one who leads from the heart. Blessings on your journey and wishing you great success with love. Congratulations.